Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. I have a beginner's level yoga flow focusing only on standing poses. So if that sounds good to you, roll out your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Now we will begin our practice with some happy elephants to start to wake up our balance and our bodies. Taking the feet out wider than hips distance so that we still have a nice sturdy base and we're not stretching the legs too far apart. We'll reach our arms out to a nice big T. Spread the fingertips out wide, give them a little wiggling out, maybe even squeeze the shoulder blades in together a little bit. We'll twist over to one side. And we'll twist through center over to the other. Now we'll let the arms sway side to side as we twist back and forth, lifting the back heel as we turn to take out the pressure on our knees. And letting the arms just sway. Now we'll slowly come back through center. Letting the arms run out of momentum, we'll walk the feet so they're underneath of our knees, underneath of our hips. Now pick up your toes. Spread them out nice and wide and set them down. We're going to kind of grip them in. So we're pulling on the center, pulling on the bottom of the toes in towards the center of our foot. Now lift the shoulders up to the ears. We'll draw them back and then down the spine. So the shoulder blades are in together and then away from the ears. We'll tuck the hips forward slightly so we're not pressing the hips back. We're squeezing the glutes, reaching tall with the top of the head. We can close the eyes or allow the vision to be soft. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Pressing into our toes. Fully filling the lungs, filling the chest and the abdomen with air. And then completely and fully releasing the breath back out before we start fresh with a new breath in. Now we'll open the eyes, and with our next in-breath, circle the arms out to the sides and then up towards the sky, reaching nice and tall. With our next exhale, we'll drop the elbows alongside our shoulders. Our fingertips are still pointed to the sky and the palms are out wide in front of the body. We'll gently pull the shoulder blades in to kiss at the spine so we have a lot of space across the front of our chest, between our collarbones. Still dropping the shoulders away from the ears as much as we can. In our cactus pose. With our next in-breath, we'll send the arms back up to the sky. Now with an exhale, we'll swan dive the arms, starting to hinge at the waist as we bow forward, adding a bend to the knees. Taking this forward fold, this first forward fold, nice and gently. If you're not quite at the ground, that's all right. Bring your hands to your shins or to your thighs, wherever they meet. And we'll take a little bit of time to wiggle out here, getting our body used to this pose. We can elephant walk the legs, lifting one heel, and then lifting the other. We can grab for opposite elbows and find a sway side to side. You can find a nice gentle bouncing or any other variation in between. Just taking some time to move, to notice what feels good, maybe what doesn't feel good. And then we'll come back to our breath. With our next in-breath, moving our hands to our legs, pressing into our toes, we'll reach the spine nice and long, trying to flatten out our back like it's a tabletop. Reach forward with the top of the head as much as we can. And with our exhale, we'll hinge and fold forward again. A little more wiggling out in a way that feels good. Beautiful. We'll add a little more of a bend to the knees so that we can bring the abdomen closer towards the thighs. We'll drop the top of the head straight down towards the floor and do the same with the arms. Let them hang loose towards the floor. You can give them a wiggling out. You can nod the head yes and shake the head no. Now we're going to start to tuck our pelvis under, tuck the hips forward, squeeze the glutes. And we're going to continue that rolling motion up our spine. Really take your time. Roll one vertebrae up past the next. And at the top of our roll, we can find some shoulder circles, some shrugs, some wiggling out. And we're going to turn to our side mat. So we are facing the longer edge of our side instead of the front shorter edge. Now bringing the hands to the hips, we'll heel toe the feet out nice and wide. So they're about twice hips distance. You still want a sturdy base here because we're going to forward fold. So the closer the feet are together, the more it'll be like our forward fold from earlier. The wider the feet are, the more challenging the pose can be, depending on your anatomy. Now with an in-breath, we'll reach the arms up overhead, up towards the sky. Exhale, we'll sweep them out, swan dive the chest. Add a big bend to the knees as we come down. And drop the hands towards the floor. Now you can play around with the distance between your feet. Maybe you notice that your feet are too close together and you can't quite reach the ground. Or you notice your legs are too far apart and you're really struggling with a deep hamstring stretch. Find a place that is comfortable to you and your body today. Now, like we did before in our forward fold, we'll take a little bit of time here to play and wiggle around in this pose. We can walk our hands from one foot through center to our other foot. We can find a sway side to side. We can walk the hands a little further out in front of the chest and find a forward and back shift. Or any other variation that feels right to you today. Good. We're going to start to heel toe the feet back in towards each other. Take your time. And then we'll stop once they're a little wider than hips distance apart, like they were for our happy elephants. And with an inhale, we'll move back to our halfway lift, long spine, press through your toes. Exhale to fold. This time we'll reverse swan dive the arms. Put a big bend to the knees, reach the arms out to the side, press through the legs up towards the sky. We'll find a star pose, turning the toes away from each other, reaching the arms out wide, spread the fingertips, and we can start to find a baby back bend by sliding the eyes up the wall in front of us. Big breath in. And an even larger breath back out. One more time, big breath in. Lift the chest. Even bigger breath back out. Drop the arms down and wiggle out a little bit. Now we are going to make our way to our warrior one. So we want our right foot facing towards the top of our mat. So if you're the other way around, you might want to turn around, or you might get a little bit backwards with my instructions, but that's all right too. We'll pick up our right foot, wheel it out, and turn it towards the top of our mat. Now our back foot, we're going to turn in slightly. So right now it might be perpendicular, but we're going to turn it in at a 45-degree angle away. So our right foot is up towards the top of our mat. Our back foot is out towards the top corner of our mat, if that makes sense. Notice here, if we're feeling a little bit unstable, we'll walk that left foot out a little further. We do not have to be on a tightrope. We can be on train tracks. Our legs do not need to be on the same line. We can step them apart, and depending on how your hips are aligned, that may be more comfortable in your body. Now we'll start to add a bend into our right knee. We're still keeping our weight even between both feet if we can. So we want our body in the center of our legs. And then we'll turn the hips towards the top of the mat. Now, if you didn't step your foot out before and you want to, you can do so. You can heel toe that right foot towards the outer edge of our mat now that we're in that forward hip rotation. Find a comfortable spot here in your body. Still bending into our right knee. We'll reach the arms up towards the sky for our warrior one pose. We're going to hold here for a little bit and focus on our breath and building strength through our static pose. Reaching the arms up towards the sky without crowding our ears. So dropping the shoulders away from the ears, down the back, so that our chest can lift slightly. We'll take big breaths in and even bigger breaths back out. Pressing into all of the toes. And if your shoulders are starting to talk to you here, with them up towards the sky, we'll drop the fingertips to the shoulders instead. Beautiful. Exhale. We'll bring our arms all the way around till they're at our sides. We're going to reach the arms back to the back of the mat and then bring them around. Now we're going to grab for our hand, or we can grab for elbows or wrists or wherever we're finding behind our back. From here, we can start to pull the shoulder blades in together, either just by drawing the arms back or by reaching the hands or the elbows down towards the floor, whichever variation we're in. So draw those shoulder blades back and down. And then maybe, we'll reach our hands or our arms a little further back behind the body. Maybe not, but maybe we can. Reach the arms back behind so they're no longer touching the back body. Good. Exhale, collapse the hands back to our back. We'll reach them around, we'll wiggle them out, And we're going to pivot on our side mat. So our hips are currently towards the top, the short edge of our mat, and we'll bring them around to the long edge of our mat for our warrior two. Now this is one that you might want your feet a little further away from each other to be a little more comfortable. We're keeping the bend in our front right knee, and we'll tuck the hips under this time, rolling towards the right pinky toe to keep the knee open, and we'll send our arms forward and back, almost like we're on a surfboard. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe looking back at the left hand, seeing if it's at the same height from the ground as the right hand. Pressing into all of the toes. Now we'll flip both palms up to the sky. With an in breath, we'll lengthen long through the right leg as we reach the arms up. Exhale, we'll come back into our warrior two. We'll do one more time. Inhale, lengthen the right leg, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Holding for just a little bit longer. Again, if your shoulders are talking to you, this time we'll flip the palms up and bend the elbows. If they're still talking to you, just drop them down out of your way. All right, one more time. We'll lengthen long through the right leg as we send the arms up towards the sky. We'll pick up our right toes and wiggle them out. Turn them towards our side mat. Exhale, start to hinge forward in our wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, we'll move to a halfway lift. Flatten out the back, reach forward with the top of the head. Exhale to fold. Drop the hands down. We'll heel toe the feet in once or twice so that the feet are still a little more than hips distance apart, but are a little closer than they were. Adding a bend to the knees. With an in breath, we'll circle the arms out to the sides, up to the sky, star pose, lift the chest. Reach the fingertips out wide, give them a nice wiggling out so we can wiggle the hips as well. Full breath in. Enlarge your breath back out. One more time, full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Good. We'll drop our hands down, bring them to our hips. Now our left toes, we're going to pick up and wiggle around. We'll start to circle them to the back edge of our mat. Our back toes, we'll bring them in so they're parallel. Maybe step them out towards the side of our mat as we start to circle the hips towards the back of our mat, the short edge of our mat, and we'll find our warrior one on this side. So again, if you need to step your left foot out towards the outer edge of the mat so that you're on train tracks instead of a tightrope, you can do so. We'll add the bend into the left knee this time and send the arms up to the sky. We've got a nice big bend in the left knee. The right toes are at a 45-degree angle away from the body. We're pressing evenly into both feet. We're pressing to the outside edge of our left pinky toe. If our arms are getting tired, we're going to drop the fingertips to the shoulders instead. With our exhale, circle the arms out to the sides, towards the back of the mat. We'll bring them around the body to connect to each other. We can grab 4 hands, wrists, elbows, wherever we reach. Or we can even just reach the hands towards each other. Now we're going to start to lift the chest, draw those shoulders in together and towards the back of our mat. And maybe, just maybe, we can reach the hands a little further away from the body. But maybe not. And that's okay too. Good. We'll bring the hands, the arms back in towards the body and release them out. Wiggle them around. We're going to turn to our side mat, pivoting our right leg around and moving to our warrior two. Now this time you might want your legs on that tight rope. You might want to step your feet a little further apart as we bend into the left knee. We'll reach the arms forward and back, look up towards the left fingers. Drop the shoulders down the back. Tuck the hips forward slightly. Roll to the pinky edge of our left foot. And try and press through both feet evenly. Maybe even turn to look back at your right hand. Notice, is it at the same height from the ground as your front hand? Are you maybe a little twisted in towards center? Can you draw those shoulder blades in together a little more behind the body? Again, option here if your shoulders are getting tired. Palms up to the sky, bend the elbows, or drop them fully down out of your way. Coming back to our breath with our inhale, we'll lengthen long through our front left leg. Keep a nice little bend in. Don't lock the knee. Reach the arms to the sky. Exhale back to our warrior two. Bend the left knee. Inhale, reach the sky. Exhale back, warrior two. We'll hold for just a little bit longer. Building strength here in our static pose. Good, one more time. Lengthen long through the left leg, reach the arms to the sky. We'll pivot our left toes back to our side mat. We can drop the arms out of our way. We can wiggle out the shoulders forward and back. We'll start to heel toe the feet in, so they're not quite as far apart. Back to more of our happy elephants or our star pose. We'll bring the heels in and the toes to point away from each other. So we have an external motion in the legs. Now, tucking the hips forward, squeezing the glutes. We're going to drop straight down like we're going to sit on a chair. Now, finding a comfortable spot here in your body. And we're going to keep our hands at our hips or at heart center. We're just going to find a little sway side to side. Coming back to center. We're going to lower just a little bit lower. Holding here. Pressing towards the pinky side edge of both feet to keep the knees open. Now this is a great strength builder pose because this is not a normal stance that we stand in. We'll hold for just a little bit longer. Good. With our next in-breath, we'll lengthen the legs, move to our star pose, reach the arms out, lift the chest. Big breath in. Even bigger breath back out. One more time, big breath in. Even bigger breath back out. Good. Now we're going to bend the knees again so we can bring our hands to our knees. This time we're going to stick our hips out behind us. So we have a forward shift to the chest. We're going to get a little bit of a standing twist in here by bringing our right shoulder across towards our left knee, gently pressing the right hand into the right knee to help us with that twist. Inhale through center. This time our left shoulder will come across center towards our right knee. Inhale through center. Inhale again to our star pose. Reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, we'll drop our hands down. Heel toe the feet back in together so they're underneath of the hips. With a big breath in, we'll send the arms up to the sky, and this time we're going to interlock all fingers but our pointer fingers. So our pointer fingers will reach up towards the sky, and we're going to start to move our pointer fingers over top of the body towards the left side. Finding a side stretch here. We don't want that right arm touching our face. We want the arms long. Inhale through center. We'll draw our fingers over towards our right side. Again, side stretch. Keep the left arm away from the face. Long spine. Inhale through center. Exhale to our cactus pose. Draw those shoulder blades in together at the spine. Wide fingertips. Inhale to send the arms back up. Exhale, we'll hinge for our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll wiggle out. We'll add more of a bend to the knees so we can bring the chest closer towards the thighs. We'll nod the head yes, and shake the head no. We'll do the same with the arms. Let them hang loose down towards the floor. Now, starting to tuck the pelvis forward, we'll continue that rolling motion, ragdolling our way up the spine. Really take your time. The chin will be the very last thing that we lift in our roll. And we can find some shoulder rolls or some shrugs at the top. Wiggle it out. And we'll move to our mountain pose, our Tadasana. Bring the feet underneath of the hips. Pick up the toes, spread them out wide, and draw them in towards the center of the foot. Lift the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze them back and down the spine. Bring the palms forward. We'll draw the chin in slightly so the ears are over the shoulders. And we'll close the eyes or allow the vision to be soft. So we take a couple more deep breaths here. Fully filling the lungs. Taking a few more sips of air at the top. And then open mouth sigh to let it all go. One more time like that. In through the nose. A few more sips of air at the top. Open mouth sigh to let it go. Now we can bring hands to heart center or keep them at our sides. We'll take one last large breath in through the nose. And let it out as a collective sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you found this video useful. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.